Well, good morning. This is going to be a weekly farm update for those who have any kind of interest in what we're doing here on Cam's farm, which is a family farm for members of our families. Just finished feeding up these guys. So this is the horse barn. It's kind of old. It needs a little bit of refurbishing, especially that door in the back. But it's a pretty sturdy barn because the wood that they used to use is older hardwood, and it turns to harder wood than you would even imagine. It's almost like metal, for crying out loud. But here's got most of my meat birds, the ducks. Most of the ducks stay over here by the horse barn. I got a few of the goats over here, and they're eating their grain now. Not the goats. The goats eat goat pellets inside. The chickens like to stay over by the coop, and right now we've got them actually in a shed area. This is our little burn pile. When we have non-burnable trash, which is mostly paper products and the thin plastics and whatnot, we burn them there. The stands that you see in here are the tomato frames that we had this year. We didn't actually have very good luck with the tomatoes this year. I think we just planted too densely. Gosh, we had almost over 50 plants for sure, and they were maybe 10 inches apart from each other. It was really too densely packed to even maintain. So we didn't get a whole lot of tomatoes. We did get some, but not a whole lot. I think next year we're gonna scale it back to just a couple of different varieties, traditional good ones that we know of, maybe beef steaks, and there's a couple of others that we really like. So we'll do that. Let's see, right now I've got some goats eating inside the coop in the middle coop room. They're locked in so that the dogs don't get their food and everybody gets a share. The weather's turning amazing. It's like the weather calls you to stay outside. It's like wonderfully cool t-shirt weather. And in the afternoons it gets a little bit warm, still very comfortable. You can see a couple of the horses out there. We've got 5 horses. One of them is going to be giving birth very soon. The one that is all like golden color, and she likes to put off foals with bright blue eyes, and sometimes the blue eyes stay. Usually they turn brown after a time, but the last one we had, we traded the neighbor, or sold her to the neighbor, but she was gorgeous. Golden color, blue eyes, but her eyes did eventually change. So let's see. This may end up being a pretty long video, but okay, it's an update. I'm not sure how, but the smaller goats that I've got in here keep getting out, and I really don't see where. I'm gonna have to watch them without them knowing. Anyway, all right, so let's go out over here to show a little more of what we've got here. That looks like that door fell down again. I really need to fix the doors on this barn. I need to get more current wood. The boards that make up this barn also, like if I was to try to refurbish what I've got here, the doors are so heavy because it's like literally like a board is like a board of steel. It's so heavy. And then to hinge them up, oh my gosh. But it has to be done. So, okay. It's 3 runs. Obviously the left is a middle run, this door, and the right run, that door. Like I said, these doors need to be fixed. It takes time, it takes some money, some effort. Inside, the right 2 here aren't separated, but the left one is where the hay is. That's got boards down across the whole length. I've got 12 sheep, a couple of lambs. See this little guy right here? He's going to be food soon. A couple of others. We've got mostly males, which is actually good for the food situation. Lamb is delicious, even when they get a little bit older, when it's mutton. And that's usually after about a year. Once they're about a year old, they become mutton. Anyway, here's the horse that's pregnant. She's gold, she's beautiful, she's got a lot of seeds in her mane right now. That's what happens. They just find themselves in brush all the time, every year. And they're all sucking on a salt block. When we bought the place, this was the wood cutting section. I'm kind of moving that little by little. We have been using it for wood storage, and we're going to continue using a section of this for wood storage because it is so big. But this front section of the middle is going to be sectioned off for access for a fenced-in area outside the barn here. This is going to just remain access for us to put a vehicle in here or a tractor or whatnot. The other side in the middle is also going to be a stall section in the middle here with a field section on the other side of the barn. So we've got access on the inside for both sides, with a field outside for both sides. Makes it a little bit easier to take care of the animals. Here's one of the sheeps. They're pretty friendly. They're mostly friendly. You got to watch out for the rams though, because when they get a little bit territorial about their females, they will knock you down. And man, are they strong. It's like one little ram is about as strong as a horse, crying out loud. You wouldn't believe it. So anyway, that's our plans for the tobacco barn. We're going to probably have pigs on the other side and like cows in this middle one for this section. So we've got beef here, we've got pork on the other side, we've got chicken and duck and turkey out there, not to mention the goats, but I don't know, goat really isn't a very popular food, meat, but the sheep can stay in this section when we park things in here. They are very, very self-sufficient animals. In fact, we've fed them nothing this year. All they've eaten is grass and pretty much drank from the horse trough. Now what we're planning out here is, when we bought this property, we've got these, not really sure if you can see it, but there's like a ditch here, there's like a ditch here, and there's actually 3. Kind of hard to see, but kind of where I'm standing next to this barn out here, we're gonna dig a pond in this area. So the field is angled toward this barn. So when it rains, all the water from the field comes this way.